TV hospital. Nothing new to report.
So Dr. Santos hasn't made any illicit house calls?
No, she's been here all day. Rounds and a doctor's appointment.
With whom?
A Doc Clater.
What else?
Zip. On board Spitless.
I'm not paying to keep you amused. You're supposed to keep tabs on Dr. Santos.
You figure there's a boyfriend waiting in the wings someplace.
I'm betting the election on it. Just make sure you're there to catch the lady in the proverbial act.
Why are you always in my office? What do you think you're doing?
Check back later.
Will do.
Your chair, madam.
Yes. And what happens when I sit down?
Oh, aren't we suspicious?
I asked you before, what are you doing in here?
Your line rang.
Well, who was it?
It was your Lonely Hearts Club. Changing your meeting from Thursday night to Saturday night's the only night everyone could be
You know
there.
what? I'm getting mighty tired of coming in my office and finding you here and acting like you...
Like I own the place?
You like owning things, don't you, Adam?
Oh, yes. Some more than others, depending on their worth.
Well, say precious metals or real estate, you know, things that multiply in value almost overnight, those kind of things. Yeah, especially when you have the inside track or you have the right contact so you know where the bodies are buried, right?
You're taking the long way around to something. What is it?
Nothing.
Then I recognize the holding pattern.
Well, I learned it from you.
Possibly. What is this about insider trading?
Oh, no. Actually, I was just thinking of doing a story on the current real estate market. You know, buy or sell, acquire or divest.
Save it for the staff meeting.
No, really, I'd like to get a running jump on it. I mean, we've already passed the one-year anniversary of the Willow Lake land scam.
Well, want to celebrate? What do you get for swampland that has nothing?
Well, then what about a follow-up idea? What's happened to the area since Edmund busted that retirement home swindle wide open? What do you say about that?
I say forget it.
You're killing the Willow Lake update?
There's nothing to kill. You're flogging a dead horse.
Well, our readers like to keep abreast of current developments, you know?
Willow Lake is ancient history. It doesn't deserve a second glance from anyone, especially our readers.
Well, I disagree. I think that Willow Lake Acres deserves a much closer scrutiny, you know, maybe a second, a third, even a fourth look.
You nearly died in that bottomless pit, Brooke. Why in blazes you want to go back and write about it?
Oh, I don't know, a hunch, women's intuition, sixth sense. You know, call it what you like it. I just have this feeling in my bones that there is some story brewing in there.
Stop staring at me like a cat who's got a canary in its sights. You're up.
Le moi?
Yeah, don't play innocent. What is it? Come on, out with it.
No, I was just curious. Did you cross paths on the prison exercise yard with Giles Westfall by any chance?
Westfall?
Yeah, you remember. Good old, bad old Giles, that con artist that tried to talk Myrtle and Mona Tyler and several other unsuspecting senior citizens out of their entire life savings?
What about him?
Well, he almost made crime pay. I mean, he figured out this great scheme to take worthless property and turn it into gold, except he got caught. So he's going to be cooling his heels for a very long time in prison.
So?
Well, so since Giles isn't going anywhere anytime soon, the thought occurred to me he might have turned his get-rich-quick land scam onto some other sucker. Say the new owner and title holder to Willow Lake Swamp.
You think you're pretty funny, don't you?
I think I'm a million laughs.
Well, I'm not amused.
Well, the feeling is mutual.
You get 0 points for subtlety.
Oh.
All right, will you stop prancing around and tell me what you know about Willow Lake?
Come in. Excuse me.
Excuse, can't you see we're in a conference?
Yes, Alice. What is it?
Mr. Marick and Mr. Grey are here to see you. Should I have them wait?
No, tell them to go away.
Tell them to come in, please. I think what I have to say they'll find of interest.
Adam, I hope we're interrupting.
Edmund, Dimitri, please sit down. I just wanted to tell you I've been doing a little research, and it is my great pleasure to inform you that Adam Chandler is the proud new owner of Willow Lake Development.
I think the old man finally lost it. Willow Lake is nothing more than swamp.
Well, that's if you take it at face value. I mean, I thought myself, why would he put down good money on unclaimed swampland? So I put out a few feelers. And the contact at the EPA informed me that Willow Lake Acres is the nesting ground for the spotted hoot owl, which is on the endangered species list.
I think I see the dawn breaking.
Right. Well, I checked out a few other things, and I found out that there is a bill in Congress up for vote after the election. It's legislation to determine whether to classify Willow Lake Acres as protected wetlands. It is still in committee, however, but guess who is the chair?
Couldn't be Calloway by any chance.
Calloway is trying to get the bill killed before it reaches the House, and that's why Adam is politicking to get that slime ball reelected.
You are way off base. You're not even in the ballpark.
Oh, really? Well, then why don't you enlighten us? Why would you put down good money on unclaimed swampland unless you had an ulterior motive?
Maybe Adam's bucking for a spot in the record book. The owner of the world's largest kitty litter box.
Quicksand theme park.
Yeah, I really don't have time for this.
You know, I have some land down in Finoki I could sell you for a song.
What I do with my business is none of yours.
Oh, even if we ask you pretty please with sugar on top?
You can coat it with honey and teach it to whistle for all I care.
Stonewall Chandler has spoken.
No, I'm not stonewalling. Most of my acquisitions, you could give me a list of them, I'd draw a blank on half of them.
Oh, well, a mind is a terrible thing to wish.
Many of my major concerns and most of my minor ones are run by holding companies.
Well, I know that is true, but I also know that Chandler Enterprises is a very strict parent company, and they don't let their children buy anything without approval. So you may have used one of your smaller companies as a smokescreen, but you gave it the green light.
Which brings us back to square one. Why buy up wasteland unless you know a way to make a profit on it?
You won't make beans if it's declared a national wetlands.
But, you know, I never realized that area was a nesting ground.
Well, neither did I. But I'll tell you one thing. If I'm elected, I gotta work my tail feathers off to see that that land is protected. So flock you. Ouch.
Excuse me, Brooke.
Oh, yes.
Oh, just came off the wire service. For some reason, Kendall Hart thought you'd all want to know about it right away. She mentioned Mr. Marick in particular.
All right, thanks, Ellen. Well, I don't know. Early this evening, Pine Valley attorney Jackson Montgomery made a fashion statement along with a very public proposal, sharing the runway at Nexus for a charity fashion show with Montgomery and top model Erica Kane. The bride-to-be wore off-white as the groom got down and on bended knee and asked Miss Kane for her hand in marriage.
The bride-to-be wore off-white as the groom got down on bended knee and asked Ms. Kane for her hand in marriage. Well, it seems the rumors of your love life are greatly exaggerated.
Well, yours are non-existent.
Yeah, you don't have time for romance. You're all tied up in swamp futures.
Have fun while it lasts, Adam. Eventually, I will find out the source of your fascination with things cold and clammy, and I will put a plug in it.
Record it in your ledger in red ink, Adam. This is one investment that won't pay off.
We'll see.
Well, even if I'm not elected, I'll form a citizens committee to have Willow Lake declared a national wetlands entitled to all protections thereof.
That's the worst-case scenario. Matt Calloway doesn't stand a chance of winning against my brother.
A snowball's chance. Face it, Adam. You're looking at this district's next congressman. There's no way that Edmund can lose.
Oh, thanks for your help, Brooke.
You said it.
Well, what's this?
Aunt Phoebe, hi.
A campaign meeting without me?
Oh, it's not a campaign meeting, Phoebe. It's just an impromptu brainstorming session.
Big fundraisers tonight.
Best bib and tucker.
And where's your new whiz kid sidekick? You mean you had a brainstorming session without her?
His new what?
Who we dishing?
Oh, never mind. I should hold my tongue.
Not in this lifetime.
All right, since you insist. I'm speaking of Liz Sloan. That young woman is up to no good.
I don't know what you think is so important. Won't you come in?
Look at you. Liz, yuck.
Oh, well, it's good to see you too, Mr. Chandler. You're looking very nice.
I was afraid I'd find you like this. Now, obviously, either you have thrown in the towel, or I have failed to make myself clear.
Oh, you've made yourself perfectly clear. I'm supposed to blow the election by sitting on the candidate's lap in Bimini, sipping a margarita, with photographers taking pictures of us. And I'm supposed to do it as soon as possible.
It's preferably before the election. And here you are, home alone, looking for all the world like the girl next door.
Tonight happens to be the black tie fundraiser at the Valley Inn. For one thing, I don't have the money for a ticket. And for another, I don't know what you want me to do. I mean, you want me to seduce him in between the rubber chicken and the cheesecake?
There's plenty of time before that event. You have all the time you need. Now, put on some lipstick, and for heaven's sake, wear a dress and get busy. I have a new plan that will ensure Edmund Grey's defeat. A plan that will not fail.
Liz Sloan. Up to no good?
What makes you think so?
Phoebe, you're not jealous, are you?
Me? Jealous? Of that little twit? Ha! Never. I only wish it were that simple.
Phoebe, come on. Liz is a brick. She's licked more envelopes, answered more phones than practically any other campaign worker since day one.
Oh, she's worked hard. In fact, too hard, in my opinion. But you mark my words. There's more to that young woman than meets the eye.
On what do you base this negative opinion, Phoebe?
On intuition, sir. My feminine intuition, which rarely fails me.
Intuition is one thing. Evidence is another.
Exactly. Look, remember when I almost torpedoed my campaign by hitting Dell in front of that reporter? Who gave it the right damage control? Who gave it the right spin? Liz. Who inspired me to get rid of that image consultant? Liz.
That was probably part of a strategic cover.
A what?
A hidden agenda, dear boy. I mean, that girl, that pretty little waitress you're so fond of, is bad news.
Why, Phoebe? Because she's a waitress and not a professional with 6 degrees and a father-in-law in the governor's mansion?
Edmund, that's not fair. I admit I am a bit of a snob, but this is not a class thing. Is it, Brooke?
Maybe you should tell them what we saw.
You're on her side?
Well, maybe it was nothing, and then again.
What?
All right. Brooke and I went into McKay's last night after the theater. And there we saw your friend Liz in heated conversation with a certain Pine Valley bigwig.
Matthew Calloway.
Oh, for crying out loud, even a crook like Calloway's allowed to eat. McKay's is where she works.
No, it wasn't your esteemed opponent that Liz was talking to, Edmund. It was Matthew Calloway's staunchest supporter, Adam Chandler. Well, when we walked in McKay's and we saw Adam and Liz in some private corner, I just assumed automatically that he was hitting on her or something, and she said they were having a little argument over Adam's tab.
Well, there you go.
Right. Adam is cheap. However, Aunt Phoebe's instincts should not be ignored.
Now, Adam has always had a yen for pretty girls, but he has an equally strong yen to keep his boy in Congress.
Adam wants that wetlands bill killed in committee. Calloway can do it.
Well, I don't know why, and nobody knows yet why Adam bought that Willow Lake swamp.
Okay. Calloway and Chandler are in cahoots. We know that. But Liz, she seems so no-nonsense, down-to-earth and honest. I mean, you think she's Adam's spy? Excuse me. Yellow.
Edmund, hi, it's Liz. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Hi, Liz. How are you?
I'm fine. I was just wondering, I hope that this is not an imposition, but, well, in a few minutes, I have a bunch of my neighbors stopping by, and they know that I work for you on your campaign, and they're bringing copies of your book. I kind of hinted to them that you might be able to stop by and sign them. Is that hideously out of line of me, or is there a remote chance that you could do that?
Well, I've got a fundraiser tonight. I'm kind of pressed for time, but, well, who can refuse a future constituent? I'll tell you what, let me get dressed, and, I'll see you soon.
You will? Edmund, thanks. I really appreciate it.
Okay, you're welcome. Goodbye.
Well, speak of the devil.
What does she want?
Some neighbors are dropping by her place. She wants me to come by and shake their hands and give them another of my brilliant short speeches.
Now? Tonight?
At the last minute.
You're right. Talking politics with neighbors is pretty sinister.
Well, I think it's pretty pushy, if you ask me.
Okay. You guys are my advisors. I'll take what you say under advisement. If it's true and there's anything to the theory that Adam and Liz are in cahoots, tonight's the night to find out.
If memory serves me correctly, you weren't always a model of behavior yourself.
Well, in kindergarten I was. It was only when I became a teenager that I started to be somewhat rebellious.
Yeah, and then you more than made up for lost time.
Listen, you are personally responsible for every gray hair on Ruth and Joe's head.
I see. Well, all I can say is, considering Jamie's DNA profile, just think of the good times we get to look forward to.
Oh, really?
You know what?
Yeah.
It's nice to see you smile again. And you look great. How you doing?
Well, I'm still having trouble with authority figures. Namely, that desperate despot who calls himself the publisher of this magazine. I think you know him. Adam Chandler.
Oh, tell me about it. As far as I'm concerned, you deserve a medal for keeping such a cool head in what is obviously a combat zone.
Well, I am not keeping a cool head because Adam is not wasting 1 minute. He's making life hell for everybody he comes into contact with. Haley, me, Gloria, Edmund.
Edmund? Adam is after Edmund? Oh, well, come on. Do tell. I mean, what is he doing? Is he
Look,
plotting something?
I know that you are completely busy as far as, you know, your life is concerned with Orsini Vineyards and your family life. You ever think about the good old days?
What good old days?
I mean, being a private detective.
Oh, I mean, never mind. It's been so, why? Who needs investigating?
Haley and Alec discovered that Adam bought that Willow Lake swamp, and I have a contact at the EPA who informed me that the land might become federally protected wetlands. Now, the bill is in committee, but the House is expected to vote on it in November. And guess who is chairing the committee? Our own incumbent representative, Matthew Calloway.
Adam's boy.
You got it. See, Charlie sort of politely refused to investigate any further because he doesn't want to have anything to do with Adam anymore.
Instead of going through the yellow pages looking for a new PI, you come to me? Brooke, I hung up my hat years ago.
Look, you know Adam better than anybody. You know the twisted way his mind works. Isn't there some way you could free up a few hours so you could go and snoop out there at Willow Lake?
Brooke, wait a minute. Nobody would want to find a course with Adam's name all over it more than I would, you know, but like I said, it's been years. I'm rusty. My license expired. They're harvesting out in California.
And Dixie is gone, and I know you have a little bit of free time. Isn't there something I could say to you that would convince you?
Where the devil is that report for R&D? New York is screaming.
Don't you ever knock?
Well, this is a picture. How cozy. Oh, I get it. Act 2 of Brooke's fun tour of men from her past. First Edmund, now you.
Haven't you got something better to do? Aren't you supposed to be pulling the wings off of flies someplace? Tempo's publisher. Frankly, I'm amazed they don't blow you off the masthead.
How do you put up with this juvenile?
Juvenile? You got your report. Why don't you do us all a favor and grab your walker and hit the bricks?
And for your information, I plan to improve this magazine in record time. And believe me, it could do with some improvement. Advertising revenues were down last month. Why don't you talk your ex-husband into springing for an ad for his so-called vineyard?
Unlike your magazine, my so-called vineyard had record-breaking revenues last quarter. But then again, who's counting?
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Tad. Get him for a 2-page spread. And what about, we've had 7 letters from the readers whining for the reinstallation of your other ex? The Pulitzer Prize-winning pinhead, Edmund Grey?
Well, our readers are very loyal.
Yeah, well, shut him up. Don't even think about trying to rehire that loser after the election. He is verboten. Persona non grata.
You know, it's amazing. You run this place just like Attila the Hun. And it's too bad, because Tempo used to stand for something. Integrity, first-class journalism, respect for its readers. Obviously, with you at the helm, all that's gone straight down the toilet.
All this from a man who inherited a vineyard for no other reason than he happens to look just like some poor widow's lost son. I, on the other hand, am a self-made man, and under my guidance, this place is going to make money. With or without your cooperation. Good night.
Well, believe it or not, he wasn't quite as abusive as usual, but you see what I have to put up with him?
You know, they say some things like certain jobs, just like riding a bicycle. You never forget.
Does that mean that...
It means, dear Watson, that the game is afoot.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
No, don't thank me now. Wait till I nail him.
Well, when can you start?
Well, there's no time like the present. And something tells me that this little investigation is going to call for something rather creative.
Give me the film.
Look, just let me...
Just what? Give me the film! You sneaky little weasel. I'd rearrange your face.
Edmund, don't!
Get out of here.
Edmund, I am so sorry. I can explain.
Conniving little backstabbing two-time.
You know, when I came back to Pine Valley and saw you, I began to realize what I let slip through my fingers. Of course, that's the story of my sorry life. I didn't just throw away an incredible woman. I lost a chance at real happiness. If I'd have stayed with you, Maria, things would have been different.
Well, we were both pretty young then.
We had our whole lives ahead of us, I thought.
I'm so sorry, Dylan.
Hey, don't be. I am so glad that I got to see you again. See how great you are. I'll tell you something, Dr. Santos. You're 1 in a million. Is it okay if I kiss you goodbye?
Going to be finished. I am so sick and tired of coming into my office and finding
you that I own this magazine. Brooke?
Not bad for an old maid. Adam, save the slack jaw for your next stroke.
Shut that mouth and you'd be almost attractive.
Oh, isn't that a nice way to talk? You know, I can understand why Gloria runs screaming at the very sight of you.
Should I have Kendall bring your broom around? I assume you're going to Edmund's fundraiser.
Well, actually, I prefer to think of it as the rehearsal for his victory party.
You've always had an active imagination.
Well, when we were married, there were times when it came in handy. Say, the nights that we made love.
Who's your escort? Tom? No. He's married. Edmund? No, he dumped you for Maria. Tad, perhaps? Dixie is conveniently out of town.
No, actually, Tad has other plans this evening. I'm going solo.
Oh, it's a pity. All that effort you put into looking less than desperate will be wasted.
Oh, my efforts are very rarely wasted. Especially not tonight.
Get it. Why the hell would Adam Chandler buy 1,000 acres of swamp? Hello? What do we have here?
Were you calling on my phone when I walked into my office?
Checking my voicemail. Pre-election poll results. You'll be unhappy to know that Calloway is a commanding lead.
Well, that's so funny because the last I heard they were running neck and neck.
Well, whatever the polls show, Calloway will win.
You're worried he won't. I can see it in your eyes.
That's disdain for you, nothing more.
I'd be worried, too, if I were you. I mean, tying some risky investment like Willow Lake to a Calloway win?
You're making much too much of that.
Well, meddling in other people's affairs is what we lonely, bitter shrews do to pass the time.
Aren't you tired of all this juvenile sparring? You and I go way back, Brooke. Why don't we try laying down our rapier wits and work on being friends again?
You know what you can do with that olive branch.
Well, let the record show I tried.
Oh, it's all smoke and mirrors, Adam. It's just a desperate attempt to avoid any conversation about Willow Lake, and it proves that you're up to something.
Why can't you just try to trust me again?
When we were married, you tried to pawn that child that you were having with Dixie off on me as some fatherless bastard, and you want me to ever trust you again? Not bloody likely.
All right, forgive me. Sometimes I ask too much.
You're stalling.
You used to like that.
I used to like you.
You'll have your answers to Willow Lake in due time.
Maybe sooner.
Method. Well, what do you know? Adam bought himself Willow Lake for natural gas deposits, which would be worthless if Congress declared this a protected wetland. Unless, of course, Calloway wins, stops the bill. God, I'm good. All right, my little buddy. Let's see if you got yourself any brothers or sisters.
Oh, don't worry, Adam. I will uncover your interest in Willow Lake.
You better run along to your fundraiser. It'll be midnight soon. You don't want to be caught out in your pumpkin.
Your setup fell flat, Chandler.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Edmund, what happened?
God bless Phoebe. She was right about Liz Sloan. I stopped by her place to press some flesh with the neighbors. I got a lot more flesh than I bargained for.
Hecklers?
Liz stripped down to her bustier and came on to me while some guy was clicking away in the closet.
Sounds sort of like a French farce with you as the lead buffoon.
Oh, no, I'd say it sounds more like you've struck again. On the day of Edmund's press conference, that's the other idea that you were telling Calloway would work, isn't it?
I had nothing to do with this.
Give it up. She confessed. You offered her a lot of money to set me up, Chandler.
Well, in addition to being an exhibitionist, the lady will also say anything to save her own neck.
Oh, look who's talking. You're the king of corruption. You know what's wrong with this country, Chandler? You think of nobody but yourself. The hell with anyone else.
Save the oratory for the nitwits who believe it. I bore easily.
Yeah, well, you haven't heard the half of it. Come on. Let's go tell the voters about Adam and his stooge Calloway and what they really stand for.
Great.
Blast it! What is this country coming to in $50,000 doesn't buy you loyalty. Or results. Well, see for yourself. Oh, Bert, you got it.
All right, boys and girls, gather around and bring your shovels. We got the dirt on Adam Chandler.
What? You found something at Willow Lake?
Pardon me. What's going on?
Tad went to Willow Lake to see if we could find out why Adam Chandler would buy a swamp.
Well, it's not as good as Texas tea, but it's close. Methane gas.
Are you sure?
Positive. Willow Lake is loaded with it. He's practically already in production. I saw pipes, heavy machinery, and the business end of a guard's gun. Believe me, Chandler is set to make a not-so-small fortune.
Well, yeah, as long as Willow Lake remains unprotected.
Exactly. Turns out your opponent, Mr. Calloway, chairs in a congressional committee that's got the power to designate Willow Lake a protected wetlands. He wins again. It's a piece of cake for him to kill the bill.
Well, that explains Chandler's vested interest in the Calloway land.
Certainly does. Okay, boys and girls, now we know Adam's got gas. Big question is, what do we intend to do about it?
Anybody got a match? I think it's time for Adam Chandler to go down in flames.
So, Adam, what brings you here? Certainly not your interest in truth, justice, and the American way.
You're up to something.
I'm here to assure Tempo's unbiased coverage of tonight's events.
You're full of gas.
I beg your pardon.
I was referring to Willow Lake. It's obvious you bought the property because of its natural gas deposits.
Giles Westfall didn't suspect a thing. You know, isn't it wonderful this country has such an abundance of natural resources and stupid people?
You're not going to get away with it.
With what?
And it's clear that you have Calloway in your back pocket. You want him to win re-election to block the wetlands project.
You people put Holmes and Watson to shame.
Well, you know what? Edmund is going to fight to have that bill passed if he wins.
If, being the operative word, but so much can happen between now and the election. So much.
I don't like it. Whenever Adam is that calm, it usually means one thing. Trouble.
Ladies and gentlemen, I could give a long-winded introduction to my brother.
Oh, please, no.
Instead, I would like to introduce Edmund via his new television spot, which will blanket our district's airwaves starting tonight. Now, this tribute to Edmund and his candidacy was made possible by your generous contributions, not the string-attached funding of special interest groups or certain local businessmen. For your pleasure,
Drafted by public mandate just a few short months ago, Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Edmund Grey has formed a bond with the people. People tired of politicians who sell their souls and their votes to the highest bidder. Edmund Grey is his own man with his own unique vision. A vision which takes the best of our past, the values of hard work, honesty, decency, and uses them to build a better tomorrow. Edmund Grey, a strong man, a wise man, a family man. Reclaim values, reclaim trust, reclaim morality. Elect Edmund Grey for Congress.
that's my brother and your future Congressman, Edmund Grey.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I could be glib. I could be cute. I could fire the director who did that commercial. But I won't, because this is from the heart. When I first started out, I thought I would do my civic duty and answer the call of my friends and my peers. And at the time, Washington seemed so far away, so unattainable. Like the green light at the end of Daisy's dock in The Great Gatsby. But unlike Gatsby's dream, which was behind him, this dream is ahead of me. Thanks to you and your support, your faith in me, I'm convinced...
What the hell is going on?
The biggest upset since...
I don't know,
Lost
but
the truth.
Adam's smiling, and that's not good.
What? What's going on? Don't tell me the bulletin back Calloway.
Oh, no.
What is it, bro?